Alright, so this is Sonny Revenge, my Visa 268 brand identity pitch. So starting off with research and analysis, the local competition in Kelowna was a great place to start. I was looking at them primarily for inspiration on aesthetic and process because I believe that they kind of fell short a little bit on fostering an inclusive community of like-minded individuals who are interested in fashion. There is an opportunity to provide resources and community spaces at a more approachable and inclusive price and at a more approachable and inclusive environment. The best in class that I researched was a great place to pull inspiration for a variety of reasons. Basket Case and Jaded London have great examples of simple and interesting and appealing branded clothing and accessories that are not necessarily difficult or expensive to produce. And Second Street and Cosmo's Glam Squad are both stores that offer incredibly unique experiences and like one of a kind, creative, and bold pieces of clothing, but the price point is a little bit exclusive. It's not the cheapest, um, especially since they're in Los Angeles and New York City. So there's an opportunity to be inspired by these companies, but offer something similar, but at a cheaper price point. So my big idea is that Sonny Revenge is a curated streetwear brand with both one-of-a-kind vintage fashion and branded graphic merchandise. So it's like a retail store with a very creative approach to fostering community um, around just everyday individuals, not necessarily an exclusive crowd of people who can only afford a certain thing, but anybody and everybody who wants to express themselves through unique fashion. The target audience is pretty wide, primarily young adults, teens, people interested in expressing their identity through unique clothes, like a university student looking to save money, um, or just any young person looking for inspiration um, in the way that they style themselves. Um, Also, just any human looking for community based around vintage fashion and creative identity. Um, yeah. Core values of the brand, I really wanted to invoke sort of a creative and confident vibe, um, while still at its core focusing on community and being very approachable. The brand personality, I really was envisioning it being a very charismatic and empowering and very confident environment. I imagined the workers being very charismatic and empowering people, and I imagined the environment itself being a place where you felt empowered to express yourself authentically and confidently. Decorations and clothing vibe. This is just the mood boards for the brand. It's very maximalist, very like eclectic and, treasure chest feeling. And then a mixture of both curated vintage clothes and branded pieces that switch seasonally. Here are some of the explorations that I took to try and find a balance between traditional vibes with vintage aesthetics. Um, Sorry, trying to find the right balance between traditional vintage aesthetics and modern youthful energy. Yeah, I was trying to just find that balance between the modern and the traditional. The colors and the typeface that I used, I think the colors really work well together to invoke like a really retro kind of vibe. But the primary colors of the brand are the navy blue and the golden yellow. And then Chinese Rocks is the typeface I'm using. It's a bit more approachable. It's a bit more um, playful. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and I think that that is really helpful in fostering a community. The final logo. So this is it. Um, so you can see the typeface. I think it looks really good. The uh, logo or the icons themselves, sorry, I decided to use interchangeably this sort of like cat figure and this graffiti SR. And I use them interchangeably throughout the brand. So this is a stacked version, or this is the icon set, the logo set. There's the stacked versions on the bottom there, the badge versions in the center, and then sort of the um, horizontal versions as well. And the icons are being used, switched around, interchanged. This is the black and white version, the blue and gold version, which is one of my personal favorites. This one is also one of my personal favorites. I think the red looks really good. And the teal. Here are my touch points. So the first touch point I made was the sign. I really liked the wood. I thought it was like very nice and like really invoked that kind of like new age retro vibe. I also love how it looks like it's carved wood. This is a painted mural outside the store that would change seasonally, and would be commissioned by local artists. Um, I thought that it could be a unique way to like, utilize the colors of the brand, um, while also still, you know, probing the community for art. A brown paper bag that I designed that you would get with every purchase. Um, and I was sort of inspired by Brandy Melville to have it come with a variety of Sonny Revenge stickers, kind of like the ones that are collaged on the outside of this bag, because I think that's a really good way to get word of mouth around about your brand. Um, and yeah, I designed some bodies for the little cat figure, and it's relatively simple sticker designs. Here are some t-shirt designs with, I would imagine like the workers would wear them, especially like at events outside of the store where they can be easily recognizable as Sonny Revenge workers. Yeah. And then a seasonal magazine with information on upcoming events, new clothing and merch drops for the season, customer features, artist representation in upcoming social events. Each issue would have a corresponding color that matches the season and the brand colors. So red for autumn, navy for winter, green for spring, or yellow for summer. And then you can see the cover I designed. I used sort of like a collage of different mirror selfies in those sort of round dome mirrors that you would find in parking garages. I thought that maybe if the store had one of those mirrors in it and the customers often took mirror selfies in those mirrors, it would be a great way to like use those photos as art for the cover of a magazine or for advertisements and such. This is signage and advertising for seasonal events. You can see the magazine on the bottom there with a QR code that would go to a company website or an Instagram page with information. And then also don't scan that. I heard that scanning QR codes is bad. That when they're fake, it's not real. Sorry. Sunny Day Autumn Market. I'd imagine they'd have like 4 seasonal markets a year that would have 20% off students and 20% off traded items, which also fosters the community because there's a big community in traded vintage items and also very obviously in university students. A custom photo booth in the store with free sessions per receipt. I thought, especially with having little icons on the photo strips, it would be another great way to develop word of mouth about the brand. I'd imagine people would, you know, take photos in the photo booth and then post them on their Instagrams, and people would see the little icon and know where they took those photos. And then a record booth that would be in the store that would be playing live music. It would allow for, or not live music, but live record music, like, allows for songs to be requested and also kind of allows for an opportunity to sell vintage records. Thank you. Sorry, that was so long. I don't know how to like not make it long. I just like talk too much. I'm sorry. Bye.